the last video I posted was about where are you, and it was based on how we can be stuck somewhere in life and God is asking where are you. And it's not because God doesn't know where you at, but because he's God, he knows everything. But it's more of us being aware of where we at and allowing him to come to meet you at the place. And it was more of like I was afraid to trust God, and with that I used to question myself like, Ruth, what are you doing? It's God. He has your life in his hand. He's the King of Kings. He's God, like God, the real deal. And yet I was still hesitant about it. And honestly, I can now say that I am on a journey of learning to trust the Lord, basically, in one word. Learning to trust the Lord. So let's get into this video. So I'm gonna share with you a story. So I had a friend who was in a situation that needed somewhere to stay because of personal reasons, and I wanted to help that friend. And it's like, as a Christian, as a believer, you would be like, okay, this person is in need of help, and hey, why not? God says to help people. You need to be nice. You need to help people. I was not able to host anyone in the house because it's not allowed based on my contract. I'm not allowed to have anybody in the house. So in the cases, I was like, Lord, if it's your will to have me help that person, give me a sign. And I was like, this is the sign you should do. You should make the people approve of me allowing that person to stay at my place for at least a month. And so I asked God for a specific time. And the people agreed. And I was like, okay. But even if I got that yes, but something was still not feeling right. But I was like, okay, they said yes. But I'm praying and I'm like still feeling bad about it. But I just couldn't get to understand why. So I eventually, because I was against it, then I was like, I have to help. God said to help people. Imagine God would be like, I came and you didn't help. So I was more of basically like, okay, I'm gonna help the person because God said to help. So yes, I helped. But then the next day, it was more of like something about the next day was just not right. And then I went and I spoke to my dad, and he was like, I don't even know who you're talking about, but over the phone I have this feeling of like you should stop it right now. And then I went and also talked to the wise people that I had around me, and I bring it up, and they also was concerned and said, no, I have a bad feeling about it. And it's like that. I was like, okay, this is basically a sign telling me I should not continue helping that person. And as Christians, as believers, we are aware that we're not fighting with flesh and blood. We are fighting with spiritual things in the air. So I was like, okay, because they're saying no, my father's saying no, and I'm feeling that weird feeling. So let me just stick with that no. So when I confronted the person to tell them that I'm not able to continue in helping them, what happened next was just a confirmation on why I shouldn't continue to help them. So they blew up on me. They got upset. They was just raging out. And that scene just made me see why and what it is I was getting myself into. That one conversation, that one scene is already showing me the future. It showed me what could have happened in the next 5 days. Everything was just already in front of me. And I was like, okay, that's a confirmation. So I was like, okay, this is it. I cannot help you anymore. And then conversation down and go. God speaks. And the way he spoke to me was through a dream, but I didn't really take that dream into clarity. So it was a dream of showing me where I got to like the door, like I saw myself open the door and I got twins for me to take care of, and one of the twins was already looking sick, and I was like, and I was concerned about the sick baby, and I cover them when people come to the house. I cover them so that they don't see I have a sick baby that I have to take care of. And then the other one that is good and and then I saw how I was struggling in the dream to take care of that child. That child came with so much of responsibility, heaviness. I was tired, but anyways, I was just struggling to take care of that child. And then they got really sick bad, and I brought them to the hospital, and they stayed at the hospital, and then apparently they got healed. And when I went to an event that was being held by the family, and I went to see that child that was sick that I used to take care of, to say hello to the family, to see the child, how the child is doing. When I went to speak to the father figure in that dream, the father figure just gave me a look, and the look was like, you coming to ask me to see them while you went and took care of them without even asking me. I understood what the dream meant. It was more of like, you didn't come and ask me permission first before taking a step. You went and do your own thing, and now you asking me for permission after it has been done. So it was clearly showing me that, like, you didn't wait upon God. God didn't tell you to take on that mission upon you. And the funniest thing is, after that happened to me, I was online looking at sermons, and one of Pastor Stephanie EK, I don't know how to say her last name, so I hope I didn't pronounce it bad, but Pastor Stephanie, one of her sermons, she was talking about the exact thing that took place in her life, where she had a friend and she wanted to help the friend get house, and God was warning her not to, but she was ignoring the sign and saying, Lord, it's you who sent me to help her, this type of thing. So the exact thing that took place in her life was exactly what took place in my life. And I was so shocked just listening to the sermon. And then what happened was, when the true self, when that friend manifested who she was, apparently she was a witch that was coming to attack her. So I was so shocked. I was like, oh, that is exactly what took place in my life. Just like the Bible say, there's nothing new under the sky, under the sun. But anyways, so the exact thing that took place in her life was exactly what took place in my life. And I was like, oh my gosh. What I learned from my lesson is, ask God first, even if it seems like it's a situation that you could help, even if you are doing it with a good heart and you are base it on, even if you're doing it with a good heart, even if you mean no harm, even if it look like you could handle it, please go ask God first. Bring it up to him and ask him if you should work on it, because you do not know what is this real meaning behind of it. You do not know what is behind, because God sees the future, my friend. He sees everything. So if he tells you no, it's because he already knows what can take place. He already knows what you could handle. And honestly, I'm happy that he saved me from it, because the drill definitely showed me if I did continue helping that friend, I would have been in a situation and he would not have been there with me. So my advice is, ask God before you take action. Do not lean on your own understanding. That's what the word of God says. I was leaning on my own understanding to the point where I even give God, I want the sign. And when you ask these type of things, do not forget, the devil hears this type of sign that you want. So obviously he could also do these signs for you. So when you ask God for a sign, I would advise you to just let him show you that sign in his own way. Before you get yourself involved in situation, no matter how good your intentions are, please seek God first. see what he's saying before you move to your next step. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.